All right, so in the vein of Halloween, for this special segment of Big Facts, we have 11, the top 11 psychological thrillers. All right, number 11, I Am Going to Kill Someone This Friday. So right off the bat, I'm gonna let you know this is a biased list. So of course one of my
like more like a buy this list.
Hey,
what are you talking about?
I didn't put it up in the top 3 or anything like that, but if I'm gonna write and direct and cut a psychological thriller, it would be a failure if it wasn't a psychological thriller that could end up on this list that I actually want to see and enjoy watching. So I think our film succeeded in earning at least the last spot on this list that's filled with other movies
You
that
got
inspired
Jordan Godfrey, Thomas Adele, Tarian Royal, Tracy, Campson from Fox's Next Great Small Chef, and you're telling... Just go. All right,
I'm going to kill someone this Friday. Google it.
Yeah.
So, number 10, Us. Us makes it on this list in spite of the last portion of the film's exposition-heavy explanations that create more questions than they do answers. And I know we'll get into that. The rest of the film is so good that I can forget that part. Like Jordan Peele's Get Out, Us creates a dialogue for the audience to enjoy long after the movie is done. And number 9, Shutter Island. Shutter Island plays out so perfectly. A fantastic story, even without the twist at the end. The performances, the scenery, the allure of the mystery makes this an enjoyable film to watch regardless of how it ends. And then the ending comes and blindsides you with a well-thought-out twist that is as mind-bending as it is devastating.
Were you sober when you wrote that? Because, what do you mean? There was a twist at the end.
Yeah, I'm saying it would have been just as good without it.
Oh, so you didn't need... you didn't need the savor the flavor. It was going to be good.
You don't even need the twist.
Oh, yeah, it was
but
good.
Then
Yeah,
the
okay,
twist comes and it's like...
I agree.
It doesn't take away from it. It adds to it.
I agree.
Number 8, Get Out. When I first heard that Jordan Peele wrote and directed a horror film, I thought it was a joke. Now I await with anticipation for Jordan Peele's next horror film. Get Out was such a simple and elegant approach to all of the things that make a great psychological thriller. It leaves more for interpretation than it provides an exposition. It's like a terrifying parable that came at the perfect time in our society.
I concur.
Number 7, Black Swan. Darren Aronofsky's approach to psychological horror is pitch perfect. Even when something terrible isn't happening, you have a feeling that something terrible is happening. The aesthetic is cold and cool. The performances are just as cold and just off enough to stay grounded yet unsettled. Number 6, your favorite, Vanilla Sky. You know this had to be on my top. At least I didn't put it in the top 5. Made it right there on number 6. This is such an emotionally... I need you to hear this. This is for you. This is such an emotionally devastating and gratifying ride of visceral human feelings and reactions. The soundtrack, the performances, the genre-bending nature of it, it is near perfect.
Number 5, Mother. The best psychological thriller should be polarizing. And Mother, certainly polarized. But just being polarizing doesn't make it a great film. Darren Aronofsky, and I'm talking about D-Man, listen, he returns to the list for a second time because his film was so well crafted and delivered like perfectly. I mean, almost a 10. The metaphor is obvious, but the ride is so insane. And the imaginative to watch and dissect, Mother.
Number 4, The Sixth Sense. This one changed the psychological thriller genre. From this point on, if a psychological thriller didn't come with a twist that knocked me off my feet, it would be compared unfavorably to The Sixth Sense. That earns its spot on the list.
So this number 666. I got number 4.
Number 3 is a movie that you refused to watch because his
Jesus
first
Christ.
film up
Mr.
so
Royal
bad.
list? What's going on here?
Hey,
What's the worst that can happen coming up? Jesus.
Midsummer. This film lands on the top 3 due to its innovative approach to the genre. It manages to immerse the viewer in the emotionally unstable mindset of the protagonist, to feel the hellish ride she is on, to feel the confusion and horror and heartache she experiences, and ultimately feel an odd sense of relief in her liberation in the film's climactic and disturbing moments.
That's what he said.
Number 2, The Shining. Stanley Kubrick meets Stephen King meets Jack Nicholson, and the tension is real behind the scenes and on camera. Kubrick's attention to detail and signature style of filmmaking makes The Shining feel like something more than just a movie.
Hey, have you seen Tommy? Well, here's Johnny.
Honorable mentions go to Joker, Silence of the Lambs, The Butterfly Effect, but only the director's cut version. Hey, they made it.
I like
too.
the butterfly effect, though. I do.
The ending in theaters was a little too like, oh, here's everything worked out.
Yeah.
The director's cut version is a baby killing himself, a self-abortion. Yeah, watch it. Watch the director's cut.
Subordination.
Donnie Darko, Requiem for a Dream, Seven, Fight Club, Taxi Driver, Side Effects, The Game, The Cell, Hard Candy, Primal Fear,
Edward Norton's going to curse you out.
The Exorcist, Frailty, rest in peace, Bill Paxton, and Memento.
Furthermore, Edward Norton's pissed that he's even on the list with any of those. He doesn't want to be on the list anymore.
Yeah, well,
It was a challenge.
come meet me in the editing room, Edward, and tell me how to edit this.
He's already there.
Number 1, American Psycho. American Psycho is the nihilist response to the need for some gotcha, fleshed out, in-your-face twist ending to a psychological thriller. The ending makes you wonder about the entire film you just watched. You can rewatch it again and again, interpreting it differently every time. It is a subtle, while being over-the-top when it needs to be, psychological exploration, leaving you as the audience just as in the dark about mental illness as we collectively are as a society still. Those are my top 11 plus some honorable mentions psychological thrillers that you should check out this Halloween season. Especially Vanilla Sky, right? Find us in all these links. It's coming up right now.
That's the trailer.